Good evening, and welcome to the latest edition of Randall Reads. Tonight I'd like to talk about a very important book about the true terror of living in a totalitarian state, Darkness at Noon by Arthur Koestler. This book was inspired by the show trials in Russia of the 1930s, when Stalin took an iron grip of the party and an iron grip of Russia itself by rounding up and arresting all his former Bolshevik comrades who'd helped to make the revolution itself a success. The main character of the book is called Rubashov, and he's like an amalgam of Trotsky, who was famously exiled and murdered assassinated in Mexico, Zinoviev, and later Bukharin, who faced a trial for these phony counter-revolutionary charges and were later executed. Interestingly enough, Koestler, the author of the novel, was a foreign correspondent and an active Communist Party member during the 1930s. He fought in the Spanish Civil War and was arrested by Franco's troops on threat of death. So he wrote this book very much from experience, and I think it is one of the finest novels you could find about being arrested for your convictions and awaiting death. On first reading many years ago, I saw parallels between the Rubashov character in this novel and Kafka's K from the trial. The only difference being that Kafka's K never knew what he'd been arrested for. But in an ironic way, the Rubashov of Darkness at Noon, the charges he faces are completely illusory and they don't really exist anyway. So like I was saying, it was probably one of the best novels you can read about imprisonment and awaiting a death sentence, and it really is a fine piece of writing. It's my recommendation for this week. Darkness at Noon by Arthur Koestler. Thank you for listening. Good evening.